to the American public by the White House is a forgery. We said that several months ago. What I said on March 1, and I will repeat it again, show us the microfilm. I said it a while back. Show us the microfilm and we'll all go back home and forget this. Where is the microfilm? Where is the microfilm? Is it in Hawaii? Department of Health? What's the big secret?
What's the microfilm going to show?
We're now going to take some questions. I want you to identify where you're from and what organization. And Mike, you can answer some of these requests.
Sheriff Mortimer from CBS 5 here. How do you expect any of us to believe any of this? You have two investigators who are in business together, and their business is peddling conspiracy theories.
Well, first of all, I think that's an insult.
It's
a big insult, because that's all you want to talk about. You don't want to look at the evidence. Look at the evidence and forget who's in bed with who. Look at the evidence. Talk about the evidence.
Your investigator, one of them, has never met a conspiracy theory he hasn't put his arms around. The other one...
Who you answer?
Go ahead, finish with the other one.
And
he's going to answer.
The other one is making money off of this.
Oh, gee.
Okay.
Together, how much money have you made off of this?
Made? Absolutely zero. Let me tell you about this so-called book. The mainstream media will not put this information out. That book that you're referring to is nothing more than that last press conference in writing for those that want to understand more about it. Let me finish. I didn't make anything leave on that book when I left for Hawaii. Coming back from Hawaii for a month in a pile of envelopes was a check for $700, and subsequently another one came 2 weeks later for $630. I didn't even know it was there. The publisher called me and goes, "Hey, did you cash the checks?" I wasn't expecting a check. Got about $1,500 total that went directly to my church. I've made nothing off of that book. I didn't do this to make any money off of a book. And as far as a conspiracy theorist, I had no idea this stuff was going on when the sheriff called me. This is not something that captured my attention, but when you start something like this and the evidence starts to take you in a direction, all of a sudden, what sounds like a conspiracy may not be a conspiracy at all. There's evidence to substantiate this. You're looking at almost a year of my life into this, and we have more evidence to say it is not what it purports itself to be than what it is.
Mr. Zullo, can you clear up some questions about your background in law enforcement?
What do you want to know?
How many years did you work for the Demarest Police Department?
5.
And how long of that portion of the time were you a detective?
Almost the entire time. They took me out of uniform extremely young. I also started as a reserve officer there prior to that. So I had street time there. On top of that, let me finish for you. 6.5, 7 years as a licensed investigator in the state of New Jersey, owning my own corporation before I moved out here in 1993.
The state of New Jersey says you were only a licensed investigator for 2 years, sir.
The one that I own. Work for other people. You got to check your facts.
Hold on. Can we get back to the investigation? And by the way, you want to question my credentials? 50 years in law enforcement, you want to
Well, sure, it would seem that if this were a real investigation, you'd be saving this for a judge and jury or a prosecutor.
Well, I hope that comes one day. I hope that
what happens?
No, I hope that Congress, they're busy investigating hookers in the Secret Service or the GSA and spending money. It's about time that Congress looked into, and they're looking at the Fast and Furious. It's about time that Congress looked at this situation, and not ask, what credibility do you have, Sheriff? So, you're trying to go after the messenger. This is an official investigation, official, zeroing in on possible fraud of government documents. That's all, and it continues to be that.
Sheriff, your department has nearly 500 cases of child sex crimes that they did not investigate. What do you say to those kids that see you putting all this energy
So let's
into this?
go. When you do your hit pieces, Channel 5, you. But let's not get into that. Let us go into this investigation.
Sheriff, I have a question about this investigation.
What do you have? Next question.
I'm Tom Ballantyne. I'm a citizen journalist. Also happen to be the subject of Morgan Lowe's most recent conspiracy theory, wherein he suggests that I work for Joseph Farah, which I do not. I've never met the man. I do know him through email. I have a substantive question, though, unlike my friend Morgan, who peddles conspiracy theories himself for a living, I suspect. I don't suppose he does this for free. And my question is this. Whether it's the microfilm, whether it's Jill Nagamini, whether it's Alvin Onaka or Kapiolani Hospital, in every one of those questions or in every one of those cases when Mike requested information, could not they have cleared the president by simply providing the very simple information that was requested? That's my question.
Yeah, the short answer is yes. It's every document surrounding this one individual is plagued with problems. They're all plagued with problems. There's one excuse after another where you can't see it for whatever reason. I mean, it's everything. Right down to a college transcript. It's got a problem.
Very good.
We didn't invent this. This is just what's out there.
Let me just say one more thing. Thank God that this is being streaming because the whole country really doesn't care about local politics, whether they like the sheriff or not. These are facts that we are talking about. It's an official investigation. Mike Zullo has done a great job on this investigation. Our deputy that we sent to Hawaii did a great job. I presume with all the resources that the federal government has, all their resources, they probably would have to send 100 agents to Hawaii if they could come up with the information that Mike came up with in one deputy. Look at the facts, what we came up with.